Cabsat 2018. InBroadcast is here at the 24th MENA event, showcasing strategic, technical and creative organisations within the media industry. Hi, I'm Kaylee Hewlett from InBroadcast at Cabsat 2018, and I'm joined here by Christoph Kummer from NOA. So Christoph, tell me a little bit about NOA and the segment in the industry that you guys focus on.
NOA is a specialized company which works in the archive industry of the broadcast and the institutional archives worldwide. We are based in Austria. We are working since the year 2000, so it's quite an old company for the broadcast industry. And clients of NOA have worldwide digitized something like 3.5 million hours of AV material with our tools. It's products we provide. And we have around 7,000 users worldwide which use our systems.
Now, what problems do you find in the archive segment?
So generally you can find in the archives a huge amount of physical archives. We call that carrier-based archives. You find them something like between 100,000 and 300,000 tapes, for example, resident on Betacam or on Digibet or on DVC Pro tapes. So that are physical tapes, and the biggest problem here is that it will take around a few hundred years to replay them one by one. That's the second bigger problem, so it takes a huge amount of time. At the same time, tape manufacturer, replayer manufacturer have discontinued spare parts for this kind of physical tapes. So there is a huge race which has to be won against time to replay this amount of material. So that means also that it's not only about replaying these tapes, it's also about finding a new home for the digital repository where you will put the digital version of this digitized material. And finally, the last one is that this digitization should not be done in a so-called lossy compression. Usually you find the broadcast industry very tending towards lossy compression because they are so much focused on transmission and not so much in archives. And archives have to tackle the problem that in 20 years from now you would want really to get the most out of your archive, in the best case in a linear way, like we do it in audio, but in video this is a little bit different. So these are the 5 problems we see.
What are you at NOA doing to overcome these problems?
Okay, so on the one hand we have very efficient workflow solutions. So I'm looking on my little tape here to cope with around, for example, 60,000 tapes per year. We have a very large institutional client, the Austrian broadcaster OAIS, who does 60,000 tapes digitization per year to address the problem of time which is running away. The second part is that we have 4 levels of quality control within the system. One of these, for example, is extracting radio frequency signals from video heads to allow for us to identify real problems in the transfer. So we have really, we call it electrical metadata. It's just one of many quality assessments we do to reduce the redo rate of such a digitization process to less than 3 or 2%. Typically you find in the archives or in the processes something like between 20 and 50% of redo rate, which is very high. This is, for example, addressed by the product frame lector we have in the company.
How do you address the new repository for the archives?
So we have developed a system which is called mediARC. We call it an archive asset management, which is, for example, in use here in the United Arab Emirates, a Sharjah Media Corporation, which copes with this huge amount of handwritten metadata cards which can be transformed into this new repository. At the same time, we use open lossless video formats based upon FFV1 to store the complete video information in a lossless open format.
Fantastic. Now finally, where can people go to find some more information?
It's www.noa-archive.com.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
This is Kaylee Hewlett and Christoph coming to you from NOA at Cabsat 2018.